Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about something today that I had a comment on my video when I talked about how big fish seem to appear like they have a ghost type appearance on the screen. And I'll put some overlays of some videos on the screen where you can see some larger, smaller fish where they have a real bright return. And then the larger fish always have that ghost return. And I thought about it a lot. And my thought on this is, I think it's a lot to do with how much muscle and fatty content these big fish have. If you think about the reason we keep the bigger fish is they got a big old fillet. That's why you keep those bigger crappie. The reason you don't keep a big bass is because he has them old thick fillets and they're not that good. And plus want to let them grow up for later times. But when you think about a smaller fish, he's real thin. He essentially skin and bones. And if you've ever like wood or metal, when that Livescope signal hits that wood or metal, what happens? You have a good, strong, real bright, vibrant return. But when you do a fish that is large, is thick across the back, I'm gonna say thick like that, thick across the back, in a big, huge bass, you can barely get your hand in. The front of that head as big as my head. That has a lot of fat and muscle in there. And what happens is, and I compare it to kind of shooting if you shot a BB gun at a brick wall, which is small fish, bing, it bounces right off, comes right back at you. But if you shoot a BB gun or a BB at let's say a mold of Jello, if you do it at a mold of Jello, that BB is going to go in there, absorb, and it's not going to bounce back. So I think a lot of it is because the signal does not bounce back as well because of the fat and the meaty type structure of a large fish. Mostly muscle, but some of them have that fat on them and things like that. So I think a lot of it has to do, like I said, with the makeup of the fish. Muscle, the bones is deep in there, so there's not a lot of chance of those bouncing back the ray and stuff like that. Like on a big fish, a big bass, a lot of times it'll look like two fish. Like a big fish, it'll have a big return and then a little small one behind it because the head is blocking the tail, and when that tail whips out from side to side, a lot of times you will see and it will look like two fish, and that's because of that huge front meaty head. So guys, that's what I'm thinking it is, and that's the best thought I could have. I used to be an x-ray tech, and I remember when big guys, they come in, they was big and had a lot of meat on them, you couldn't see the bones as well because that fat content or the big muscle content would absorb a lot of the x-rays, and they would not reach the bone, or if they reached the bone, they weren't as strong, as strong going through. Now, it doesn't bounce back on an x-ray. It goes through, but absorption of the x-rays by the fat and other thing would take away the good, strong returns. But guys, tell me what you think in the comments below. Hey, like the videos for me. That helps me get these videos out a little bit more. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Ring the bell.